The diversity of this church, its ability to come together in different moments throughout the world, different events that occur, has been something that's stuck with me. Diversity is one of our main values here. I'm not going to go through all of them. That's for Pastor Chris. A, B, C, D, E, and G. The D is diversity. And it's something that I know Sunday mornings throughout the country can feel like one of the most segregated times of the week. Not here. That's evident from the moment you open the doors. So I've got two different instances that this really stood out to me. One early on when we were still in the theater. I remember there was an MLK Day celebration that we did. This may not surprise a lot of people, but I'd never done one of those before, growing up in Louisiana. But we were asked to do a video for MLK Day, and we took one of his speeches and spliced it up, and everybody read a different section of it. And I remember just reciting it for the first time to the camera. It's like when you're doing a worship song and you see the words on the screen and you're like, oh, that's what I'm saying. You didn't realize it before because you just memorized the words and you're just singing them out to an empty void, it feels like. But when I was reciting the speech and reading it off the prompter and realized what Dr. King had said, oh, well, that's different. I hadn't thought of it that way. And then fast forwarding, after the events of George Floyd, the tension everywhere was palpable, dripping. You could watch the television, and this show was promoting angle one. That show was promoting angle two, and it felt like the goal of everyone was to separate the country into two teams. And I knew that wasn't right. I knew that wasn't okay, and I knew that wasn't what the church was supposed to be. So the Sunday morning after, we were not going to let that fester. And to see that one of our priorities as a church, as the bride of Christ, was to not allow this church to get divorced. We were not going to let that happen. We immediately held a panel. We talked about it. We aired it out as if it was like a marital counseling session. And one of Whitney, my wife, one of our dearest friends in the world, are Aisha and Dewan. That same week, we sent them a message. We're like, we love you. I don't know what to feel. I know that you're going through something very different than I'm going through. We need to talk. In the same way that the church needed healing, I know that our relationship with them needed healing, and we just went over and we had a conversation with them for the sake of understanding. And to see the church, our church, come together in a way that was fighting for something that it knew was worth maintaining was something I'll never forget.